Good morning. Welcome to Wednesday.
Great morning, the final Wednesday of the daily huddle for the year. So
Hard to
excited to
believe.
be closing out the last couple days with you guys.
Yeah, it's
Hard to
kind of
believe.
we are in full prep mode for Thursday night, which will be certainly fun. We had planned to play golf on Friday, but I don't think Mother Nature is working with us here.
Probably not gonna happen. That's okay.
I mean, we got 3 days worth of rain coming up, but you know what? Interesting sort of take is that business is still happening. Yesterday was a very brisk day for me, man. I was all in stuff and people planning, and so it felt good when you're busy, and it's stacking conversations. The days just zip by. So really good stuff. How about you guys? Are you feeling it or?
Yeah,
I,
I think, a lot of people are focused on their strategic plan. Great conversations yesterday, not only in like setting up January and talking about what's coming in January, but making sure that people are closing the year the right way. We talked about some of the fundamentals to the mindset of how to finish strong. You really got to be crystal clear on your priorities of the next couple weeks. And I've had some juggling of schedules that I've had to do, but I mean, you just stay focused on what's the real goal for the end of the year and you make sure those behaviors get on your calendar. And I think that's what helps.
yeah, my calendar is jam packed with meetings and coffees and catch ups. Because remember, for us, this is not the end of the year, but for our sponsors and partners, it is the end of the year.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of strange. Your accounting always freaks me out. It's like, what do you
Yeah,
mean? Oh,
we're
we're
on a
finishing.
July
50,
fiscal
we're on a
year
50.
never jives well with me.
Right.
Hello, hello.
So we kind of go through it twice.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
nice stuff. Good to see everybody. Chaz, good to see you back in the huddle. I think the name of your camping site, Quit Your
Yes.
Bitching, is as good as it gets. Great job there with using some
That's awesome.
clever naming. Ed Dykes, welcome back. Great news here that everything is good with you and your family. Good stuff. I want to share a story as I like to do real time. This stuff just happens in the world that we're living in. So really, really cool. I get a reach out from a guy named Gal, Gal, Israeli guy that I met years and years and years ago at a meeting at the Hotel in New York. Guy was an Israeli entrepreneur doing some really cool things in hospitality. And I met him. He was not particularly friendly. We just met. Nothing really transpired. Life goes on. He reaches out recently and says through email, I have been watching you on LinkedIn. You always had great energy. I'd really like to talk to you. Okay, so I have a virtual coffee with him yesterday. Fast forward, he moved from Israel to Kansas City, part of his story, just after October 7th. Him and his wife said, enough. His wife is from America. Boom. They said, we're coming back. And just had the most intense, wonderful year end conversation you can have. Real camaraderie, real, like, I don't have a lot of connections in the States. You were one guy that stood out to me years ago, and I just want to rebuild my circle of influence. This is the power of connectivity. This
Yeah.
is where it has zero to do with money. It has zero to do with selling. I do believe we will work together. That is not my point. My point is, if there's somebody that you've lost touch with, reach out, get him.
Yeah.
He didn't even understand the power of virtual because he's not trained like we are. And I said, this shit happens all the time, man.
Right.
So
All day, every day.
shout out to him. Shout out to, his wife and making a brave move, because when you talk to somebody, and this is where it gets real, where he said, dude, going to dinner, the sirens and everything that went around, it was just paralyzing. So anyway, shout out to him. Great stuff. On this show, we always try to bring relevant content, education, things that really matter. And because this is Lori's last show, I want to ask a specific question, but let's show the question through TikTok.
Just been informed by my mom that there are two ways people shower, and we just realized that we both do the opposite thing. So when I shower, the shower head is behind me, so the water is like on my hair and down my back. Of course, I'll turn around occasionally and like move around, but she showers primarily facing the shower head. So the water like hits her in the face and down her body. And she's shocked that I do the opposite, and I'm shocked that she does the opposite. I feel like the normal way to shower is with the shower head behind you and you're facing that way. Is anyone else surprised by this? All started when I was asking her for her advice because we're redoing our shower. I was like, where should I put the shower bench? Should I put it facing this wall or should I put it on the other wall? And she was like, don't you want the shower bench behind you so you can like put your leg up while you're showering? I'm like, no, how would that work? Why would I want it behind me? Then I would just, anyway, this is what led us to realize we shower in two different ways. And I don't know why I'm having like an epiphany.
Oh,
That's
the
funny.
audience wants to know, Lori, which way do you shower?
I go both ways.
Oh, what an answer. What an answer. Mark, you are my son, and I couldn't answer this question. Which way do you shower?
Yeah, I face away from the shower head.
Do you
Like,
really?
Yeah, I'll turn around and I'll get my face in the shower head to wash my face and like wash the front of my body, but like I'm primarily standing facing away from the shower head for sure in the shower.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah,
Shay,
Jonathan Aaron's team shower head behind me, right? I do feel like that's the normal way to shower.
I will ditto Mark's response.
wow. I actually face it head on.
The whole time.
Well, I'll turn around once, but the majority of my shower time is facing the
Face
music.
first, baby. Face
Oh,
first.
but it begs the question.
You
It begs
know?
the question: what do you do when you have a rain shower? Because then it's just coming straight down.
Right now it's just on top of you, and then
No,
do you
I-
feel uncomfortable?
You go to saunas and spas and shit and have this like rain. I want to jam that thing and make it pour. It's always like too light, like very hard pressure.
He wants
blast
he
in the
wants
face.
a rainstorm. He doesn't want a rain
Speaking-
shower.
Speaking of sauna, I did just read an article about the significant impact it has on your all-cause mortality rates if you get in the sauna every day. So much to the point now that I'm a firm believer that we have to get a sauna and I have to get in it every day.
I do. I mean, I'm fortunate to have one here as I transition and move in.
Reduces
with-
all-cause mortality by 46%.
Yeah,
Like
it's
that's an
unbelievable.
absurd number. Like, it's not
I'm
like a
building it
small-
right. So we'll have sauna, we'll have steam, and we'll have cold plunge. Life is good. Shay, wake this thing up because this is Lori's final show. We'll talk about some cool stuff.
Wake up, everybody. Get up, get up, get up, get up. Wake up, come on, come on. Wake up, everybody. Teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen what you have to say. Wake up, everybody. No more sleeping in bed. No more about to thinking, time of thinking ahead. Come on.
All right. I love Mike Figara's comment.
Yeah, right.
And I'm assuming you all will shower. And when you shower, you will be thinking of this topic. Looks like we lost
Apparently,
Lori.
Lori's last show ended faster than normal, and
I think Lori went to the shower. She was so inspired by the conversation. She just went
so
to the shower.
so just so everybody knows, people don't roll in right away, right? This is the second to last live huddle of the year. So it's Lori's last show today. We will have the final live huddle tomorrow on Thursday. Then there will be a Huddler in the Hot Seat repeat on Friday of one of the top 10 that we'll talk about on Thursday. So Lori, you're
I'm
back.
glad
for
you
your final show.
clarified that, Mark, because when Dad said this is Lori's last show, I thought,
You got fired and you didn't know.
did I get fired? And I
Yeah,
don't
what are you,
know.
a
I
little
got
paranoid?
fired.
Little paranoid.
I was like, okay, I get maybe they're going in a different direction. I don't know.
No. So Nancy Stelway says nothing better than a morning sauna. My question to you is, do you have an infrared sauna? Because that's where the real benefits are, is in infrared.
Well, I
And-
do. I do have to tell you, I think I told you guys that I was renovating our master bath and bedroom area. And yesterday we got the steam going And it's got lights, it's got music, it's got the ocean if I want the ocean. I put the steam on. I was like, holy moly. Like, this is amazing.
Yeah, that's
So
great.
I had my clothes on though. I didn't take a real steam. I was just playing with the thing.
I love
My
it.
fear, because we just put one in as well, my fear is it'll be very much like a pool, and I'll use it like extensively in the beginning, and then it'll just
Right.
be a big investment that I don't use. I think I will. But anyway, as we close out the year, I love these end of year stats. It gives you a chance to kind of review and see what people were paying attention to. Wikipedia came up with the 25 most popular pages of 23. This is what people were searching. Anybody want to take a guess at what the first one is?
Taylor
Oh,
Swift.
No, Taylor Swift doesn't show up until
AI.
Chat GPT was the number one, like almost 50 million page views. Number two, which would be
Oppenheimer.
well, Oppenheimer's in there, yes. Whereas Oppenheimer is number 7. So keep
Okay.
guessing, okay?
Number 2 is Israel, Palestine.
Ukraine. Yeah, all those things.
No. Oh, Ukraine is number 24. You said, what did you say, Mark?
Israel, Palestine.
Nope, not in there.
Gaza.
Not in there.
Wow, shocking.
So
How
number
about
2,
Elon Musk?
Elon Musk is in there somewhere, I believe, is number 19. Look at you guys.
Yeah.
You're very smart. I'm
D.
glad that
Robinson with
you
a
guys-
great guess. Barbie's got to be on there.
Barbie is in here. Yes, I saw Barbie is number 13. Number 2 is deaths. People actually search deaths.
Deaths for the year, or like just
Yes,
death?
death.
Oh,
Deaths
God.
in 2023. People want to know who
Who
died.
died?
Like, who died?
All right.
It's like,
Oh, Tim Rappaport. Inflation. Is
that's
inflation
a
on
good
there?
one. And that is a really good one. But Shay, give me an X. Shay, give
No,
me
no
X.
inflation. No inflation.
Okay. So number 3 is the 2023 Cricket World Cup.
Oh,
Cricket.
wow. So that
Wow.
tells me that there is a massive influx of India /
Yes.
UK.
Great
They are-
Britain users.
There is a
on
skew
Wikipedia.
here. They are skewing that way. Here's what's fascinating. Coming in at number 15, Lionel Messi. I would
Yeah,
think he'd be much
I'm
higher,
not- I was
right?
going to say FIFA or Messi.
Wow. Okay.
People
And number
trying to-
17, not surprising, but it could have been higher, is Matthew Perry. Rest in peace.
Yeah.
You know
But-
what's sad about that? Is that tells me that people didn't know who Matthew Perry was when he passed away.
Who is so
Well, I did.
nice
But
guy.
I did search that because I wanted to know how he died.
Right.
Not that I didn't know who he was.
But
but I
you
was-
weren't going to Wikipedia for that,
No.
right? Like, to me, this is the
Yeah,
Wikipedia
that's-
pages. So people
right.
were reading about Matthew
Yeah.
Perry, like, who was he? Why is this guy
Right.
relevant?
So the only other interesting one was number 25. And I'm sorry to say, who is Andrew Tate?
It's not somebody that you need to spend your time listening to.
Okay, good. Awesome.
He's a very controversial
That's
social
why-
media personality that puts out a lot of content that is very attention grabbing, and I would say is malpractice for a lot of what he says.
Okay, the last one, number 10, is Pathan, a film.
That's all.
I don't know.
No.
I think, to your point, there's a huge Indian influence.
Coach Mike says pickleball. Was pickleball on there?
Not on the list.
No, no.
Yeah,
does
that's
not
definitely
Does
was
not
more-
bode well for our investment.
I love it. I love it.
For those that are interested or want to have a conversation with me, we are investing in a national pickleball franchise. So it is
D. Robin's reaction to Andrew Tate was POS.
piece of shit. So I love it. That should
That
be the
gives
word.
you-
Of
that gives you some.
Everything
Oh,
is
you mean
grand.
POS is not point of sale?
It depends on the business, right? Depends on the context.
Great conversation, great stuff. Shay picked the music for yesterday. We didn't get to it. Shay, tee us up with what is it? The grand. Everything is grand.
I had thoughts of superstardom, singing in the mirror, I was flossing. Swear that I saw this, remember when I couldn't stand it, now I got the posture. Finally through a paradise, call me Frankie's Goblin. All just to see your hands jumping at the concert, yeah. And I wouldn't trade it for nothing. No, I wouldn't change it ever. It's too long to live it for nothing. So this is my mood forever. Ain't like grand. Only ones I keep around me is my fam. No coincidence, it's always been the plan. And I always keep it chilly with the fans. Oh, ain't like grand. And I love a little whiskey in my hand. Make it disappear, then reappear again. Matter of fact, I never want this life to end. Next to the end, yeah.
So, Shay, I need you to pop on for a second. Is that considered like country crossover? Because he's a country artist, right?
You'll see, yeah, it's become a blend. Yeah. So he's more, if you want to sort of rap influence sort of thing.
Right.
But he can get country on some stuff, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So,
Well, so I'm a big fan of the words of music.
Mm.
And, that just reminds you, everything is grand, man. Don't,
Yeah.
what do it is what you look at. So shout out to Shay. Shay,
job,
who's
Shay.
behind
Well done,
the
Shay.
scenes, does a great job running the board every show. Thank you to him. For those who are new to the show, he is our director of MIH, which means he makes it happen. Steve Nudelberg, that's Mark Nudelberg. That's Lori Salarillo. If you don't know her, she is the CEO of JA. So our topic for the day is something called subtraction bias. Now, for those who do not know what this is, there was an experiment done with a group of people, and they put Legos in the room. And most people's inclination is to add something to solve a problem.
Yep.
When in actuality, if you delete something, subtract it, that's where all the goodies are. So this is a scientific experiment. This was not bullshit. They called the phenomenon subtraction bias. Thoughts on it, and then there are top 8 that we can go through, but I'm suggesting this for 2024, delete bad habits.
Yeah, delete bad habits and simplify the solution to the problem. I think that's a common thread in all of the work I do with the organizations. Is sometimes we get to the end and it's like, well, that's really simple. And I'm like, yeah, it should be. Like if the answer is super complicated, then the odds of that answer or that solution actually working or being carried out through the organization probably is not very good. So if you get to the end and that aha moment is, that's really simple, you're probably on the right track and it's a good idea. So that to me is the idea of subtraction. Is it shouldn't take more parts. It shouldn't take more, processes. Maybe it takes less. Maybe it is a more simpler look at what you're trying to do in order to help you be successful.
Yeah, I think, this is something I've been doing in organizations for quite a while. We always do something called start, stop, right? What should I start doing, or what should we start doing for the project to work better, or to get it off the ground or whatever? What should we stop doing?
Yep.
Right. So what are the habits? What are the actions that we're doing, whether it's a project or personal, that will, if we stop, right, will get us there quicker or get us to where we want to go. So that's a process that I think a lot of companies should or are doing.
I would suggest that you take the same philosophy personally.
Yeah,
If you
agree.
pay attention to what you eat, and every time I eat a meatball sub, I feel like shit. Quit eating a meatball sub. It's just, you might dream it, like it, whatever, but if you pay attention to the clues, and I love this, I've used it my whole career, success leaves clues. So delete the behaviors that are not, Mark, you were going to say something?
I've gotten closer and closer to that with drinking, right? Like I'm pretty sure that by the time I get midway through 24, I just won't be drinking at all anymore. I've gone from drinking when I'm out and it doesn't really matter, I'm out, so I'm drinking, to saying, oh, now I'm only going to have a couple drinks while I'm out, maybe 2 maximum. I would imagine that in the next 6 months that goes, I'm not even going to have one anymore. I'm just done doing it because it just doesn't make me feel good. I just
Yep.
don't get any benefit from it. And if you look around, I just listened to a interview with, of course, Coach Nick Saban, who no longer drinks, hasn't drank for a long time. So like, success leaves clues. You look at the people at the very top, how much are they drinking? How often are they drinking? That's something that I think you can remove. But I also think this fits into all of your behaviors. I think people, when it comes to morning routine, people, when it comes to a biz dev process, people, when it comes to leading their people, they're so inundated with so much information and so many different ways to do things that they try to incorporate all of them. And it's a recipe for disaster. Do less.
Yes, Sam
Do
and
less, say less, right?
Yeah,
Like,
my daughter Samantha and I were talking about this last night, and we were talking about getting things done and how she was really proud of herself on certain things. She said, Mom, I just decided I need to stop procrastinating and put the things right that I don't want to do or like to do right and get them done.
right.
So behaviors, right, that you
Frog.
see constantly in yourself, right? Stop them.
So the list is really great. If anybody wants it, I'll send you the list. One of the things that it suggests you should delete or could delete, Mark, I love yours. I have in the last part of the year changed my relationship with alcohol, and I feel better. I mean, things have, to such a degree that at the game, the guy who sits next to me or season tickets next to me is completely blotto the whole time. And it's really obnoxious. I'm serious. When you see this, when you
When
see
you're
it,
not drinking, people are obnoxious.
it is unbelievable, man. Oh, I bet $2,000 on the Dolphins. You are a fucking loser, dude. So anyway,
That's
so
been my entire life.
Helen, who's the
Right.
germaphobe of our time, he's like trying to lean over and high five us, and Helen is like, he just doesn't know, man. He's unaware. Anyway, we could talk all about that. The one thing I want to bring up in this show, and I think it's relevant, is social comparison. If you can remove social comparison, everybody is fighting something. Social media has glamorized cars and planes and restaurants and all this great shit. Everybody takes their pants off and takes a shit the same way. Dude,
Really?
this comparison thing, they don't all shower the same, but they do shit. So I think, as a habit, to remove, if you can remove social comparison, what most people fear is not falling, into line with what is socially acceptable. And I think the best example of that is drinking. To me, drinking was, hey, we're going out, we're drinking, and we're doing, and it's really hard to be the outlier and say. So anyway, comments before we close.
First of all, Michelle, Lori, and Jamie all want the list sent. So Shay, make sure that we take that as a note that all three of them will get the list sent to them. But yeah, I
mentioned that there's a charge for. No, I'm just kidding.
I had a conversation with one of the leaders inside of Sistel yesterday. We were talking about focusing on the problems that needed to be solved in order to get to the others. She had this laundry list of things that she needs to work on, and she has all of these things that continue to pile up on her desk. And I said, but what do you need to solve first? Right? Like, forget about everything else. What's the first thing? So we got her to that point where she focused on the thing that would create the most impact to help her. And then I said, now remove everything else. You're not working on anything else until that problem gets solved, because it's only going to create more and more space for you to be able to go work on those things. So really, we had two that she was working on at the same time. But I think if you're going to remove anything, remove the majority of the problems that you're working on and focus on the ones that are going to create the most impact for you there, and then start to move on.
Yeah.
Lori, any final thought there? Because I have a close on it. So
no, I think Mark is right. I think sometimes we overwhelm ourselves, right, with so much to do. But and I think you said something about worrying about other people. If I remember, when I listened to this article, it talked about nursing, right? People saying that at the end of life, the thing that most people said they wish they had done differently was living their life worrying about what everybody else thought they should be and who they should be.
Right.
I thought that really hit home. And I think it takes some of us, and I'll say this for women, because I can only speak for women, that sometimes it takes us longer to get there because there is this preconceived notion of who we should be and what we should do. And if we do that, we're selfish. But if we did, so I think that was the best thing I heard in that.
I mean, I'll give you a perfect example. We had somebody reach out, want to have dinner with us, and they said we're going to make like 8 or 8:30 reservations, and I went, no go. And they
No,
go,
you're not.
I go, I don't really eat past 6:30. Just doesn't serve me. Eating a steak at 8:30 at night doesn't work. And he said, wow, I'm so happy you said that. I prefer to eat at 6:30. I go, then why the fuck didn't you say that in the first place? I go, oh, so Lori, it has been an absolute treat to have you part of our journey this year. You have added great color. The fact that you face backwards is going to bother me for a long time.
I said I go both ways.
She goes both ways. And that's going to go on a quote board somewhere that Lori goes both ways.
Somebody said
Oh my God.
Thank you to
We
everybody.
said that on the internet.
Thank you.
Tomorrow's a really cool show. We'll do the word of the year exercise. We have the votes are in. We will be sharing who the top Huddler in a hot seat will be. Well, we will give that out and other fun stuff to close out the year. But thank you all for being here. We're here every day, 7:58 to 8, whatever. Thank you. If you are not signed up to be part of our journey and get on the ball, Mark, was a brisk day yesterday. A lot of people signed up, right?
Absolutely. And more people continue to at least get involved with the kickoff event, which is the things you need to master to get more in 24, and the opportunity to join the Get on the Ball community, which is the best way to continue to push yourself to grow 1% every day. Be a part of a community of people that are entrepreneurs, business leaders, and revenue generators, and get held accountable and grow at the end of every month. So excited to see everybody in January.
Yes, that opportunity is for your team. There's a great group of people networking and stuff like that. So,
Can I just add, because I want to make sure, I don't know, I can't see the comments on my phone. I just want to say thank you to you guys for a couple of things. One, for bringing us all together, right? I think you've created a synergy and energy. And when you're out in the community, we don't see some of the people that are on from far away, but thank you for bringing us all together. And number two, listen, a lot of people want to focus on getting better themselves. You two focus on helping to make us all better. So I just want to make sure that we say thank you to all of you getting up. And I want people to know, I do this 3 out of the 5 days. It's a commitment to be on here. So thank you for that. No, really, I want people to know how much of a commitment it is to prepare, right? To be here every morning. It's a lot. So all right, fine. Goodbye.
Thank you, Lori. And so everybody knows I deadlifted 300 pounds this morning. So get 1% better every day.
Kick some ass. Let's go. See y'all.
Goodbye.
Please don't worry about me. I'm about to let my heart speak. My friends keep telling me to leave this. So let's get down.